Hiya, so today I'm just going to show you how to make this quick round scrap basket. If you haven't seen already, check out the square version that I've already popped up on my channel, but this is the round version. Again, this is a small but really quick and simple basket to make, so it's really good for holding quite a few knickknacks. It takes a pretty good bunch of stuff. It's not, because it stretches as well, so it's a really handy basket to have around anyway. So this is the height of it, which is 7 rows, and then we have 6 rows in the round here, and so it's a really simple process, but I think you'll find it's quite fun to do. So all you need is 8 strands of DK weight, or equivalent. If you use chunky, you can have less strands. If you use 4-ply, have more strands. But what you want, we're using a 12mm hook. See that? And what you want to do is make sure that you've got a reasonably firm, stiff fabric, because that's what helps keep it upright so that it doesn't go collapsing down on you. Okay, so you could do a few more, could do a few less. Now, because I'm using scraps, they're all any colour that I picked out random off the side. These happen to be the same ones I made the square with because they're still on my table. But you can colour code them if you want. You can pick different colours and you could fade them up and down. There's all sorts of designs you can do. But so all we're going to need to do is make a slip knot, however you would normally make a slip knot, and then just pop it on, and then you chain 2, and then you'd go into your first stitch with 6 single crochets, which in UK terms is double crochets. Now if you're like me, you like to use the magic ring, we're going to do the magic ring method instead, but I know a lot of people prefer using the slip knot, so that's how you do the slip knot. So magic ring, we're just going to hold the yarn over, wrap it around, take it over the back there. It can be a little fiddly sometimes because we're using so many strands, but we're just going to poke it back through, pull it through, and then chain 1 through, and that just locks it into place so that it's not going anywhere. So now we're going to do 6 single crochets US, 6 double crochets UK. So if I can come in a little, so we're just going to go into the loop, yarn over and pull up the loop, yarn over and pull through both. So single crochet US, double crochet UK. I'm going to do 6 of them, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Be careful not to get your ends mixed up in it. Right, so just now you want to pull that close. Make sure you've got all 8 ends, and you're going to pull them closed. I've wrapped my end around. Hold on, I'm going to have to just unwrap my end. Try not to wrap your ends in with your stitch, because you can't pull it if you do that. So take that out and unwrap them. So make sure you keep them out of the way. Just redo that stitch. Okay. Now you can pull it close, and you want to pull it as tight as possible so that closes up so there's no gap. And when you weave in the ends later, you're going to secure that so that it doesn't come slid undone. Keep your thread nice and straight. It can sometimes buckle on different strands as the feed goes. You could end up with like a loop there. Just pull it out and keep it straight. That's the best thing. Okay, So now we have our 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We're going to slip stitch in to join. And I just think that gives a more secure, neat bottom. Okay. Now I like to just go into that same stitch to do the single crochet. You could chain one and go into the next one if you like. So what we're going to do now is we're going to increase to 12 stitches. So we're just going to do 2 single crochets, or UK 2 double crochets in each stitch around until you have 12, okay? I won't annoy you by counting as I go this time. And this can be a little fiddly and stiff, but that's because you want a nice tight stitch in order to make sure you can make sure you go 2 in each. You want to keep it nice and stiff so that it stands up when you go round and it's firm and it can take the weight of several items in it. This is really no different than making the face scrubbies that I've shown you, the single crochet face scrubbies. That is done the same way. I'm just realised I missed one because I'm not paying attention. Once you've got your 12 all the way around, we'll move on to the next line. Okay, so slip stitch in again. Okay, I'm going to come out a little now because I keep going off screen. Oh, wrong way. So now we're just going to do 1 single crochet and then an increase stitch around. This will give us 18, okay? You're just going to repeat 1 single crochet or UK double crochet and then an increase stitch, so 2 stitches into 1 all the way around, and you'll have 18 when you're done. You could work in a spiral and not bother slip stitching from this point on if you want. I like the slip stitch at the beginning just because it gives it a nice tighter loop at that beginning to keep the magic ring a little firmer. That may not be the case, but that's how I find it, so that's how I do it. So the next round we're going to take it up to 24 stitches. So we're going to do 2 singles and then an increase. So that's 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches, or 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches for UK, and then 2 of them into the 1 stitch for the increase until you have 24 stitches. Okay, now we have 24 stitches, and we're going to increase to 30 stitches. So that would be 3 normal stitches and an increase stitch all the way around, okay? And there we go, there is 30 stitches. So we're just going to do this one more time to take the stitches up to 36 stitches. So this time around we follow the pattern we've been doing by increasing one. So we go 1, 2, 3 and 4, then increase. Okay, so 4 double stitches, then the increase all the way around. Okay. Okay, there we go. So that's 36 stitches all the way around. So now we're going to do what I like to call the turning round, which is going to make the basket turn up nicely, which is going through one of the loops. It also creates this nice ridge. Can you see that? So first thing you want to do really to make it better is just to slip stitch into the next stitch. That just closes up the circle and makes it neater bottom. Okay. Now I'm about to run out of red yarn, so all you do, it doesn't have to be the same colour, but I happen to have more red, so we're going to put red for red. We're just going to join the two threads together. Now I'm doing the magic knot, but you can join it however you like, just as long as it doesn't come apart. So it doesn't matter if you're using lots of little balls, because you just tie them in. Give it a pull. You can see tiny little knot, and you won't even notice it in among this lot. So the next one we're going to do is we're going to go through the back loop of each one of these. You could also go through the front loop. Doesn't matter which. What it's going to do, depending on whether you go through the back loop or the front loop, will depend whether this side is on the outside, or turn it the other way around a minute, this side is on the outside. I like both, but as you can see, if you have the loop in the wrong place, it doesn't really fold up properly. That loop is what helps it sit nicely on whichever side you chose to do it. Okay, so take your pick. But I think as I've already got one this way round, I'm going to do it the other way round. So I'm going to go through the front loop. So just that front loop. If I come in a bit so you can see. Got your V's, and we're just going to go through that front loop. There you go. And that's going to cause the basket to turn up this way, which means the inside working will actually be on the inside of the basket. So this will now be on the inside of the basket, and we'll actually see the outside. Traditionally this is the back end of crochet, but I like the look, so sometimes I put it on the front. That's a personal choice. So just gonna do single crochets or UK double crochets around the whole piece until we get back to here, but all of them through the front loop, okay? Try to make sure you pick up every strand of the 8 for each time you do the loop. It's not going to matter hugely if you miss one, but they could become a little too loose if you don't catch them all each time. Right, so this is the last stitch. What I'm going to do is just, as I did before, slip stitch into that one. That just gives it a neat rounding edge. Now as you can see, it's naturally already turned up that row, so you're creating the basket. So from this point onwards, we are just going to go like we normally do through both loops and create just a normal single crochet or UK double crochet, and we're going to do that all the way round until you have 7 rows. So we've just done the first row already, so you've got to do 6 more rows. So we'll do that and then I'll meet you back at the end. So that's the first round done, which is the second row. See, it's really starting to form up there now. So just keep going. We need to do 5 more rows, 5 more rounds rather. Okay, so I've done all 7 rows, so we're just going to go into the next stitch and slip stitch into there, yarn over, pull through, snip your yarn. Now leave a long tail because you want to be able to weave in all these ends really snugly, and just pull it on through, and then just make adjustments for any squishing you may have done while going around, because that's happens sometimes. And there you are, one basket. Come out the other way. One really quick, simple basket. You can see, weaving those ends obviously, and I think what's classed as the inside of the crochet actually looks really pretty, and which is why I like to do it. But you can, as I said, do it the proper way round and have that. See the difference in the two? But I think it creates a really nice basket and a great way to use up all your scrap ends. And as you notice, I tied in several different balls during the process of making that, because it makes no difference if the top and bottom end up different colours. It just adds to the effect. I think it just looks really pretty. Now this takes around half hour depending on your speed to make, so it's a really quick, simple, instant gratification project really, and I really enjoy doing them, and I hope you will too. So you take care and check back soon. Bye!